Evidence has emerged of an official cover-up of the true scale of death and illness among Britain's nuclear test veterans. The Mirror has uncovered proof that 7 governments knew servicemen were more likely to have been exposed to radiation, get cancer, and kill themselves, for 34 years and never published it. My God, how many men who got sick after serving their country were denied war pensions? Their wives denied the truth? And the Ministry of Defense spent millions of taxpayer pounds fighting us, when they knew this all along, said Ken McGinley, who developed blood cancer after taking part in bomb trials. They told us we needed more evidence. We fought for 4 decades. Thousands died along the way. And now we learn the government had it, all along. What is your view? Have your say in the comments section. A table from the report shows the numbers of men involved. The cover-up lies within a 1988 official government study, ordered by Margaret Thatcher when nuke vets, led by Mr. McGinley, first demanded compensation. The National Radiological Protection Board produced 2 reports, but only one, just 7 pages long and showing a slight risk of leukemia, was published. The second was hidden in the study's footnotes as description of the methods used. It contained 140 pages of extra data showing veterans were in fact 3.5 times more likely than other servicemen to die from leukemia. The government had this information and did not publish it. The 1988 report. They were also more likely to die of a number of radiogenic cancers: throat, bowel, liver, bone, bladder, nervous system, and unspecified neoplasms. It adds that, at the start of the study, NRPB were informed by MOD that 12% of veterans, a total of 2,632 men, were believed by the MOD to have been liable to exposure to radiation. These high-risk groups were not told until 2008, when on the eve of a high court case government lawyers admitted that 159 men were probably exposed. Paragraphs show the government knew the nuke test vets had been exposed to dangerous levels of radiation. Most read, "Demand for Swiss to expel Vladimir Putin's lover from her luxury mountain bolt hole." DWP's new law that's set to sanction more benefit claimants is steamrollered by Watchdog. Queen using wheelchair and doesn't want to be seen, claims pal of the royals. In court documents, the government claimed they were mostly aircrew and scientists, who voluntarily took small calculated risks themselves for scientific purpose and in full knowledge of the radiation hazards. A government fact sheet produced around the same time makes a partial admission that almost 2,000 men had a measurable dose, but claims the only noticeable increase in deaths was from leukemia. Mr. McGinley, 83, of Paisley, said, "I remember it being a massive admission from them in 2008, something we'd never heard before. Now there's proof they'd known it for 20 years by that point. It was crazy to say men voluntarily took risks. We had no choice, and did not know what the government did." Ken McGinley developed blood cancer after taking part in bomb trials. Image, Tom Main. The NRPB study was repeated in 1993 and 2003 with similar results. In 2018, following a Mirror medal campaign, a 4th was ordered, with extra detail. Last month it reported high rates of multiple cancers and said, long-term detrimental health effect associated with participation in the tests could not be ruled out. It was put online with the previous studies, and, for the first time, a companion report for each. The Mirror's A Medal for Heroes campaign. The 1988 companion report was given an ISBN number, but according to the stationery office was never published. It could be found only by using its reference code NRPBR 214, which appears on its front page. Alan Owen, whose father died after service at the tests, said, "The only way to find this data was if you already had it in your hand." In every parliamentary debate, every war pension and court hearing, they could have revealed this. Instead they withheld it for decades. Voice of the Mirror. Our 30-year campaign is not over yet. For more than 30 years the Mirror has campaigned for justice for the brave men who took part in Britain's nuclear weapons tests. The Ministry of Defense has fought back every step of the way. We have told countless heartbreaking stories of grieving mums, children with deformities, men aged before their time and widows struggling to hold their families together, all while campaigning for recognition. 2 years ago we launched an appeal for a medal for the 1,500 survivors. For the first time we were able to prove some were unwittingly used in experiments. Our appeal was backed by then Defense Secretary Gavin Williamson, but his review foundered after he lost his job. It had only 6 meetings in 2 years. They never asked to meet veterans. They never questioned the evidence. Instead they asked for information from the MOD, which has a track record of denying what its own paperwork later proves. And as our medal campaign gathered steam, civil servants simultaneously withdrew public documents from the National Archives. Would anyone working in Whitehall today stay there, if 3 megatons of plutonium exploded south of the river? The test veterans and their families will never stop fighting. The Mirror will never cease to demand they are heard. Prime Minister, listen to them. Overturn this disgraceful decision. The MOD and UK Health and Security Agency, which has taken over the NRPB, refused to confirm if they hold copies of the hidden 1988 report. Britain exploded 45 nuclear weapons and conducted 593 minor trials, radiation experiments, in America, Australia, and the South Pacific between 1952 and the hidden victims. 282 crew on HMS Diana, twice ordered to sail through fallout in 1956. 172 men in Operation Buffalo ordered to walk, crawl and run through fallout the same year. 98 RAF aircrew who flew through mushroom clouds. 129 ground crew who decontaminated the planes. 510 who served at minor trial radiation experiments. 714 other servicemen and 409 AWRE scientists who recorded a radiation dose. The report said servicemen had 3.5 times the usual risk of leukemia compared to controls, while scientists were 5.5 times at more risk. Read more. Nuclear bomb tests. Nuke vet wrongly accused of killing baby. Nuclear tests were like Hillsborough. MOD accused of cover-up over shock death. MOD cover-up to deny veterans a pension. Read the full story of the nuclear tests at Damned. Mirror. CO. UK. Timeline. 1985 NRPB study commissioned. 1988 7-page report published, 140-page companion, not published. 1993 NRPB study repeated. 2003 NRPB study repeated. 2007 genetic research finds veterans had high rates of DNA damage. 2008 MOD admits, almost 2,000 men, may have had a radiation dose. 2009 MOD fights and loses High Court battle without revealing, companion report. 2012 Supreme Court rules in favor of MOD on appeal without considering report. 2016 war pensions denied to group of veterans on the grounds they could produce no reasonable doubt the tests made them ill. Read the originally published 1988 report on the BMJ website here. Read more. Nuclear test veterans were more likely to have cancer and die, government study finds. Read more. Veterans' fury as Mirror reveals truth about committee which denied them a medal.